So this is the microprocessor with the control here. So these are all, this is the big thing that's going on. I'll zoom in so that way it doesn't look so intimidating. Zoom in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to walk through the components of it first. Up here we have the controller. So we have our addresses saying where it's coming from and where we're storing it to. And then there are equations for our flip-flop. And this is what controls everything. And then our manual start here and our manual reset here. So that leads us onto the processor itself. So we have registers throughout everything, like here and here. There was a bunch of D flip-flops here, here, and here. And these can store memory, and so can these ones here. So that's what's happening. And then we have our decoders here and here. And we have AND gates and our inputs and more AND gates, and then our clock, and then our read and our write gates here that are connected to our controller flip-flop up here. And then we have the ALU here. Here's all the modes for it. And so we'll choose which one we want in a little while. All right, so first we're gonna go through and set what our inputs are. So, all right, now we're going to select our inputs here. So we are gonna do 5 and 4. So let's read from ROM 0 and ROM 3. So we want to set this one to 5. So 5. And then we want to set this one to 4, which it's already at. So that works for us. So now that we have that, we are going to set that we're going to read these, and we do that by our controller up here. So our addresses. So we want to add 5 to 3. So we're going to read 5 first, so A. So we need to put this as 0 because it's from our 0 ROM. And then for B, it's going to read 4, and that's in ROM 3. So we need to put 3 here. And then where do we want it to go to? We want it to go to RAM 7 here. So let's put output to 7. So that'll be all of them lit up like that. All right. So now we know where things are coming from and where they're going. Now what do we want it to do? So we need to pick what we want to do in our ALU. So we want it to add. So we're going to do 0, 1, 0. 0, 1, 0. And that will be adding now. All right. So now that we have all that, let's just do the clock, right? Oh, what? Why are there question marks? Why is this red? Oh, yeah. I have to hit start first. So let's start it so that way we're not in idle mode anymore. All right. So when we start it up, it changes our flip-flop, and that turns on, and we're reading from ROM 3 because we want our B to go first. So we're going to read from ROM 3, and then we'll clock that in so that way it goes through this register. And look at that, it did. It should have a 4. Awesome. But now it's reading from ROM 0, and it's going to go from the D, and here's from ROM 0 because we don't want to overwrite this one, so it needs to go into here. And then it will do the adding, and because 5 plus 4 is 9, we're going to have that here, but we need to put it into our accumulator here. And look, it's 9. Yay! And then we should have 9 on our bus, and it should be writing it down into our RAM. So this is all lit up to write, and it's chosen 7. Now it needs to be put into the RAM. So we're going to do another clock, and let's see if it went in. Yep, there's 9 right there. Perfect. All right. Now let's do another one. We're going to read from the one we just stored, and we're going to subtract those. So let's do from ROM 1, and we're going to do 3. So, and then we have this one down here. So we want this one and this one. So we want 9 minus 3. So we need to read, because this needs to be our 1. ROM, so we're going to make it 1. And then we want this one to be our 7 because we're reading from 7. And then we need to put it somewhere. I don't think we should put it back in 7. Let's put it in 6 instead. So, there we go. All right, now that it's reading to 6, 4 to 6. All right, so we got those under control. So it should read from 1, and then it will read from 7, and then it will do something here. So what do we want it to do? Oh, yeah, that's right. We want it to subtract. So we're going to do 0, 0, 1. All right, so now we have 0, 0, 1. And let's start it up. So start, we're going to do the clock. It should be reading 3, which it is. Now we need to store it. All right, and it should be reading 7, which is 9. And then it should be doing the calculations. And that should be 6 there. And it stored at 6. And now 6 is on the bus. And it should be going into RAM 6. So we have 5 here currently. Let's see if it'll turn into a 6. And it did. So we have a 6 there. So everything's working correctly. Yay! So now it's back in idle mode. Nothing will happen except these will turn into an error because there's nothing on the bus bar. So nothing's happening. But then if I start it up again, it will happen. And this will go back. And they'll read. And it'll be 6. And then I'll go back. And you can see the flip-flop changing up here as I did those clock pulses. And that's how the microprocessor works. I like to know why there's what's going where, and you have all control of that when you're controlling it manually. I will show you it with the clock tick on. It's done really quickly. So we're just going to read from 2 and 6, and we're going to multiply. So we're going to multiply 2 times 6, which would give us 12. So we're going to multiply. So we need to read from 6, which is that. And then we need to read from 2, which is that. And we're going to store it in 5 because that's one we didn't use. So we're going to do that. So it's going all here. We should get 2 times 6. We should get a 12. All right. So I'm going to turn the clock pulse on. That way we can see everything happening. And I'm going to turn that off for now. So that way it just doesn't crazily do it. I'm going to go to auto tick. Should be idling. There we go. And we're going to start. Boom, 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 boom. And it's 4. Oh, wait, we subtracted. We're going to change that. We want to multiply. So let's multiply. I forgot to change that. Multiply. All right, now let's start. 2, C, and C down here in our RAM 5. Everything's working great. And now it's in idle mode. Nothing's happening even though the clock is still pulsing, as you can see here. All right, that's it for my demo. I hope you all learned something. Have a great day.